Welcome to Author Mindset Monday with a great quote from Welcome to Author Mindset Monday with a great quote from Robert Kiyosaki. He said, I can't afford that versus how can I afford that? A question opens the mind, but a statement closes the mind. And it makes you become what you say. I talk about this quite frequently, is that our thoughts create our reality. They truly do. So if I believe I can't do something well, the sad reality is I'm correct. If I believe I can do something, I am still correct. I can. And it all starts right up here. That's the beauty of this quote, and that's the beauty of working on mindset issues as a writer, because so many times the things that we think we can't do or won't do, or the things that terrify us, we're just putting a roadblock in front of ourselves for absolutely no solid reason, truly. So with that long introduction, hi there, my name is Christopher Diarmani, and it is my pleasure and my passion to empower nonfiction authors, perhaps a nonfiction author just like you, so you can turn your dream of writing a book into your published reality. And today we're going to play about a little bit with this thought that words actually matter, because words do matter. Words have power over you because of the beliefs they create inside you. Let me say that again. Words have power over you because of the beliefs they create inside you. So when you say, I can't do that, or I won't do that, or I don't have that, whether that's time, money, resources, ability, I don't have whatever that is, fill in the blank with whatever the thing is you think you don't have, those are just, I'll use the word excuse, I'll use the word lie, I'll use the word self-deception, because none of those things are true. You have, just like I do and just like everyone else on this planet has, 24 hours in a day. We get to choose how we spend every single one of those minutes. So if we're choosing it to watch television instead of writing our book, well, guess what? Our book ain't going to get done. That's pretty obvious, right? And especially if I want to live in the belief that, well, I don't have time while I'm watching television. I'm really deceiving myself, because I'm simply unwilling to give up the thing that will actually make the time. The same goes true for our money. It truly does. When you live in this sense of lack, when you live in these self-beliefs that basically stomp you on the ground, it's impossible, I think, to not feel discouraged, defeated, powerless, all those things. But these are all choices. They truly, truly are all choices. And you can choose the opposite any single time you want. That's the beauty of this whole mindset thing, is that you can make that change any moment you choose. I say all the time, make a decision, follow the decision with immediate action, immediate effective action. The decision comes first, because nothing happens without a decision, but also nothing happens without action. I can make all the decisions I want. If I don't take action on them, who cares? I'm still going to be sitting on that park bench depressed and wanting to, toss myself into the ocean or something. So instead, ask yourself questions like, how can I afford that? How can I afford that? How can I make the time for that? How can I fill in the blank? And then the next question to ask is, what is it costing me not to do this? What is the cost of inaction? What is the cost of refusal to act? Because that also has a cost. That's also a choice that comes with a very high cost. But when you ask those questions, what is it? What'll it take? What do I have to do? How do I find the money? What is it costing me not to? When you ask yourself these questions, your mind opens up with, oh my goodness, there's a possibility out there. I just simply have to go find it. And that's the empowering thoughts I want you to have every single day. A question assumes an answer. A statement assumes a fact. So don't live in statements of fact, because those are limiting beliefs. Those are the things that are going to stop you from making the impact that you were born for. But if you ask yourself questions, what you're doing is every single time you ask that question, you're nudging that door of possibility open. You're making it possible that, well, there is a solution out there. I just need to find it. Maybe I need to find the person who has that solution and learn from them. There's all kinds of ways to go there. But it all starts with asking the question. Because your mind, once you ask a question, your mind believes what you tell it. It's like, well, it is the greatest supercomputer ever known. But the problem with any computer is it does exactly what you tell it. I'm a computer programmer as well. It was a career in a long distant past, and it's something I still play with so that I can build the utilities that I need to help me do other things. And the biggest frustration, of course, is when the program's not doing what I want it to do. The issue is not with the program, the issue is with me. I didn't tell it correctly. The same is true for our minds. I need to program my mind correctly so that my default is to ask a question instead of accept some statement that's not even true. Because my mind will believe there is an answer. There must be an answer. I have to go find it. Your mind must find it. That's the beauty of asking the questions. So here's the reality that sort of I build this whole video, the premise of this whole video on. In every area of your life, you make time for the activities that you value. You spend your money on the things that you value. You bring people into your life because you value them at some level. So if your life is a series of sort of not the things you want in your life, think about what you're doing there. Think about how you're spending your time, who you're spending your time with, what you're spending your money on, and the why ask the why am I doing this? It's the greatest question you can ever ask. If you're doing something you don't want to be doing, ask yourself why you're doing it. Because that will force you to dig down deep inside you. And this is sometimes not very fun. I grant you that. Been there, done that. I burned the t-shirt. Sometimes asking myself, well, I don't want to be doing this, so why am I? And it could go back to some belief that someone instilled in you when you were 3 years old. You don't know. But you got to go dig and find those answers. You truly do. You truly, truly do. Because you spend your money, just like I was talking about, you spend your time, you spend your money on the things, the items, the courses, the experiences that you value. So if you want to go hike the Grand Canyon or you want to go on a helicopter ride through it, that's something that you value and you'll spend your money on that. You're always willing to spend your time and your money on the things you find important. And just because you find it important doesn't mean it's the thing that's to your highest benefit. It can often be the wrong thing, but you still place value on it. So that's the thing that we need to change. We need to focus on what do I place value on today? And the simplest way to figure that out is track what you do every single day. Track what you spend your money on every single day. That'll tell you what you value. And some of those answers may be uncomfortable, but they're true. They're 100% true. So to change that uncomfortable reality, change how you spend your time, change how you spend your money and where you spend your money, and then just keep asking those questions because the questions are going to drive you forward. They absolutely have to. Another great question to ask you is, what am I willing to do less of so that I can do this other thing that I really want to do, this thing that I feel is important? And I put a guy up on the screen with a really questioning look because sometimes this is the question that people really balk at. Because, what do you mean I got to give up something? I'm not giving up anything, but I still want to do this. Well, I tend to be fairly blunt at that point and say, well, clearly you don't, or you would be doing that. And then I wait for that to sink in, and I might say it a second time. And eventually the light bulb goes on, because it has to, right? We spend our time, we spend our money on the things that we value most. And if we're not willing to do less of those things, well, expecting that we can do something different with our lives is really probably the grossest self-deception we can ever impose upon ourselves. And it is a choice. It truly is a choice. So what are you going to do? What are you willing to give up or do less of, both in time and money, so you can make the time and money available for the things that you think really are important, the things you value most? It's a hard question, but it's a really simple question. And you also need to, let me rephrase that. What I do in my life is I do my very best to remove the words I can't, the words I won't, especially the words I won't, and I don't have from my vocabulary. Because those are limiting thoughts, limiting beliefs. Those are things that stop me dead in my tracks, and they're a choice. I can't, I won't, I don't. Those are all choices. So I do my very best on a daily basis to make better choices. Because when I make better choices, I get better results. Same is true in your life, right? Of course it is. And here's the thing. When you take the time to and focus on removing those words from your vocabulary forever, you learn a couple of really important things. You're capable, number one, of way more than you think you are. Way more. We all are. You, me, everyone on the planet. I don't care who the most successful person on the planet is. He's capable, she's capable of way more than that. No matter how high they're operating, they're still capable of more, because that's just a universal fact of life. It's a universal truth of the human condition. We're always capable of more, and the daily challenge is to give ourselves into that headspace, that mindset, where we will do more, where we will have more, where we can make a greater impact in the world, where we can do all those things that we know we were born for. That's why we do this, right? Because you do have the time. You do have the talent, and you also have everything you need to write your book right here, right now, today. That's true. Even if you don't believe it in this moment, it's still true. But let's say for the sake of argument, there's something you don't have. Maybe there is some skill you don't have. Well, go learn it. The internet has turned our world into the world's greatest university if we choose to use it that way. There is someone out there who is perfect for you to teach you whatever it is that you think you're missing. They really are. All you need to do is go find them. All you need is the willingness to go find them. And that tends to be the harder challenge, at least in my own life. Being willing. Oh my goodness, I don't even want to go down that road. But when you ask questions like, how can I? What's it costing me not to do that? You train your mind to focus on finding the solution. And that's how I want to live every single day. I want to live my life in a way that I'm always seeking the solution to whatever the perceived problem is in front of me. Because often it's not even real, you know? And my bet is that's probably true for you. But when I train my mind to focus on finding a solution, it'll do exactly that. Because as I said earlier, it is the greatest supercomputer known to the universe. It does exactly what you tell it. So if you tell it to find a solution, it's going to go find a solution because it has to. It has no option in the matter. It simply must. It'll find a way for you to make the time, make the money available for the things that you actually do value most, things you truly value most. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I know I certainly enjoyed rambling on about this topic because it's something that the author success mindset is a huge, huge deal for me and for the people that I work with. And it just lights me up. It really lights me up. So if it lit you up as well today, then I would love for you to share in the comments what was the one thing that struck you most. Like to share and share it with your family and your friends. And then connect with me on social media, please. Connect with me on places like LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram.